So it is official. It is official. I didn't think it was actually going to happen. I'm not going to lie. Like, I watched the game, but it's official. Nika Muhl is going to be out probably for all of next season with a knee injury. Like, it's a minimum of 9 months. Well, it's an ACL tear. It's a minimum of 9 months with an ACL tear. And realistically, it's going to be 12. It's going to be 12. She was trying to play in Turkey overseas this season. She's not going to play another NBA game, WNBA game till 2026, which is very unfortunate. Like, that UConn team is cursed, man. They're cursed. Paige Beckers, AZ Fudd, now Nika Muhl. The guards on that UConn team, like, heck, even Aaliyah Edwards was injured for quite a bit of the season. That UConn team is cursed. Like, genuinely cursed. But, yeah. So, let's take a read right here from Marca Sports. So, Nika Muhl endures sickening knee injury amid chaos Super Cup. Like, obviously, it was wild. It was absolutely wild. Like, the game was abandoned, and then she goes and gets injured in the third quarter. Like, and Besiktas were doing well. Besiktas were doing well. She had 11-9. She had 11-7 and 5. Well, she had more assists than that and less boards than that. Either way, 11-7 and 5, and this was a good game. Like, this is not an easy game to play, by the way. This is not an easy game to play in the European Super Cup final, because you're playing against Julie Allemond, Emma Mason-Man, Ariel Atkins, Tina Charles. Like, you're playing against a WNBA playoff team. You're playing against a team better than a dream. So that's not an easy thing to do. And she showed in that game, like, okay, yeah, next season she's got to be ready for the WNBA. But the unfortunate thing is she is done for the year. And that is the second player in the rookie class to go down with an ACL tear this season, which is not ideal. And you can't even say it's overplaying because she just didn't play for Seattle. And then, like, I'd say we were this close to an Achilles tear for Kate Martin. And as somebody who's tore my Achilles, it's hard to come back from. I know Bree Jones has done it. I think Stewie's done it successfully. But it's much harder. It would be much harder for Kate Martin to come back, who relies on her kind of quick speed on defense and doesn't have a 7-1 wingspan like Stewie, and isn't just a big like Bree Jones, who doesn't really rely that much on her speed. But yeah, it's a tough one. So this is, I just read this article: Seattle Storm make bizarre Nika Muhl destination, or not destination, declaration. I don't know what's going on. Like, she's obviously injured. The injury did not look good. Is this just a clickbait title? They said a get well soon message. Like, bizarre declaration. Well, they tweeted out best dressed rookie. You know what? That's just a Mick Talks Hoops thing. Someone said this is not the time. Oh, it isn't good timing after she got injured. I think that was just the tweet that was there. But, like, yeah, you know what? We're looking too much into this thing. But we're going to talk about the basketball here. What this likely means for Nika Muhl. Nika Muhl, you're a Golden State Valkyrie. Because if you look at, almost certainly the Seattle Storm would want to keep Nika Muhl. And the thing is, with the Golden State Valkyries, like, they want to keep her there. They would use one of the 6 loss to protect her. But the problem with the Golden State Valkyries is now that they don't necessarily, you might be saying, oh, but like, why would they not take any other Storm players? There's no other Storm players to look for. If you're looking at the players that they're able to protect and keep, there's no one else that's going to be worth getting that has that upside. And they're more than likely going to have Jade Melbourne starting point guard next year. And you can find an overseas player that looks willing to go to Golden State, by the way. Like, if there's ever like a team, you're going to find those overseas players. Like, people are acting like Maureen Johannes is not someone that would be interested in going to Golden State. And maybe you can't look towards, like, maybe you're not able to look towards France because of Eurobasket. Maybe you're not able to look towards Spain. But so maybe you start to look at Australia. Maybe you look to bring in one of the Japanese point guards. Like, depending on when their season is. So if I'm the Valkyries, I'm trying out whatever the hell might work and seeing what happens. But I think she's gonna be a Valkyrie. The good thing is that Nika Muhl's not particularly old. Like, it's not like, I don't think she's like a Lou Lou Lopez Sanishal rookie, where she was like, what was she, 26 this year? She was 98, so she's 20. Yeah, she's 26 this year. But obviously coming from overseas, you just never know what the story is. So like Nika Muhl is, yeah, she'll be 25 by the time she's back. She's gonna have a long career. She's fine. Like Nika Muhl is complete, like she's gonna be fine as far as like her career is concerned. I think she is one of those players that thankfully will benefit from being a UConn player, one of the big name rookies coming into the game this year, onto the league this year, because let's just say hypothetically she was just trying to think who were. I mean, I think they give that grace to Celeste Taylor, but like some of the players that kind of are on the fringes of teams getting less minutes that aren't on the trajectory she was on, I think that she'd likely be done. Especially done in the WNBA. Like, it might be a case where she has to play overseas, but she's Nika Muhl, she's a big name, she'll be back. And I can see the Valkyries taking a swing on her, because, yeah, she's going to have to sit out a year, but I do think the upside of Nika Muhl is better than the upside of any other player on the Seattle Storm. So, like, the Seattle Storm are obviously going to protect Jordan Horston. They're obviously going to protect, I'm pretty sure they have to protect Jewel Lloyd. They don't have to protect Nneka Nwumeke. So that's one of the things, is that like they don't have to protect Nneka, which means that it's one less player. I think they have to protect Skylar, because obviously Skylar's not a free agent. They have to protect Skylar, and they're not going to not protect Skylar Diggins. So like they're going to protect Ezzy Magbagor. They're not going to protect Sammy Whitcomb. But at the same time, like, I would rather just take a flyer on Nika Muhl. Like, the Valkyries are not going to be good anytime soon. Unless, of course, they know. But, like, again, if the Valkyries take Sammy Whitcomb, that's their free agent. Like, that is their one unrestricted free agent. So they're not going to waste an unrestricted free agent on Sammy Whitcomb. When they're a Valkyrie, when they're in Golden State, they could probably convince a Kelsey Plum type player to go join them. Like, that's the level of player that they have a chance of getting. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'd say like she's going to be out till 2026. Obviously, I'd say she might play in Europe next year. But I don't know. She's not going to kid up next season. Like, if she plays next season, it's going to be off 9 months from an ACL tear, which is doable. Like, it's doable if she comes back and plays. But I'm like, long-term prospects for a career, I don't think it's worth it. I really, really don't think it's worth it. And she's luckily enough one of those players based on some NIL. Actually, she couldn't get NIL money. I forgot. She's Croatian. But just even not like post NIL money, just based on like how popular she's a player, how much she's going to get as far as like she's going to make a lot of money in endorsements. And with that, like I can see her doing a lot of basketball stuff, non-playing related. And also, I don't know how her contract is in Besiktas. She should get paid out her contract. She should. I just don't know what way it is, like, because I know obviously in Ireland if you get hurt, like your contract stops on the spot. But like I would assume playing in the Turkish top league for a team like Besiktas, that would be honoured for the season. But yeah, touch wood, she's going to be fine. Just a very unfortunate injury to see.